Welcome to Flashback to a Fabulous Future with Cheryl Johnson. Over the next hour, you'll learn how the past influences the future and how you can create a fabulous future for yourself. Now, here's Cheryl.
Welcome to Flashback to a Fabulous Future. We are on a journey to understand the past so we can move forward into the future with focus and energy. The series of events succeeding the Gilded Age were characterized by intense global upheaval and conflict. The world seemed to be aflame with strife, and the strategies and instruments of warfare had evolved to a level of terror previously unseen. So here are some key causes and events that shaped the two world wars, World War I and World War II. So obviously we'll start with World War I. Amid the austere chambers of the Austro-Hungarian rule, in the fateful year of 1914, a sharp gunshot echoed. A Serbian nationalist had assassinated Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire. As the news spread like wildfire, a rapid domino effect followed. A tenuous web of alliances woven carefully over the years among European powers was suddenly yanked, pulling these powers into the vortex of war. Meanwhile, the specter of militarism haunted the 20th century. European nations had been accumulating powerful arsenals and amassing armed forces like never before. These titanic war machines swelled with intimidation, stirring tension and multiplying the odds of a great confrontation. Simultaneously, a potent wave of nationalism surged through nations such as Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Serbia. Their hearts were aflame with patriotic fervor and territorial desires, fueling disputes that rapidly escalated into full-blown conflict. A dangerous hunger for foreign soil, born out of rampant imperialism, saw European empires locking horns over colonial territories and spheres of influence. These political and economic rivalries simmered, threatening to boil over into a fearsome conflict. A pivotal moment arrived: the formation of the Quadruple Alliance. Britain, France, Russia, and later Italy stood in stark opposition to the Central Powers of Germany, Austria-Hungary, and eventually Turkey. This drastic divide transformed a regional tug-of-war into an all-consuming global conflagration. In the smoky aftermath of the Great War, the once proud Germany was chained into the harsh shackles of the Treaty of Versailles. Humiliated and crippled, a deep-seated resentment stewed within the German people. This appetite for revenge ultimately set the stage for the cataclysm to follow, World War II. In the late 1930s, dark storm clouds of fascism began to roll across the European skyline. Gaining strength in Germany and Italy, this malignant wind bore the flag of the Nazi Party. Its blood-curdling racial doctrine and Hitler's rapacious thirst for geographic expansion instigated the relentless invasion of neighboring territories. Far to the east, in the land of the rising sun, a similar storm was taking place. Driven by imperialist ambitions, Japan, in a brazen display of might, invaded China in 1937. Their conquest didn't stop there. They seized European colonies in the Pacific, setting a collision course with the United States. Meanwhile, back in Europe, the watchmen on the ramparts, Britain and France, championed a stance of appeasement. They turned a blind eye to Germany's aggressive advances, like the rampant annexation of Austria and Czechoslovakia. Unbeknownst to them, their passive policy only fed the aggressive beast, failing to stave off the impending war. But as the war drums grew louder, the cunning orchestration of the 1939 Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact struck a deadly harmony. This cloaked non-aggression treaties between Nazi Germany and Stalin's Soviet Union secretly partitioned Eastern Europe between them, essentially granting Germany unfettered leeway to invade Western Europe. On the morning of December 7th, 1941, a day which will live in infamy, across the azure Pacific, the tranquility was shattered. The serene harbor of Pearl was awakened by a deluge of flaming fury, a surprise Japanese attack. The haven turned hellscape overnight, drawing the United States fully into the virulent maelstrom of war against the unprecedented alliance of Germany, Italy, and Japan, the Axis powers. Today, the world teeters on the precipice of an all-too-familiar chasm, its echoes reminiscent of the cataclysms that marked the Great Wars. From the sprawling landscapes of China and Russia to the bustling cities of India, from the age-old edifices of Turkey to the shifting sands of the Middle East, a remorseless wave of nationalism swells. Within this rising fervor come territory disputes that hang heavily in the air, threatening to ignite sparks that morph into the warring flames of conflict. Meanwhile, the eerie specter of militarism looms once again. Countries like the U.S., China, Russia, and India amass lethal arsenals, the shadows of their weapons darkening the geopolitical landscape. These formidable forces add a new dimension of peril, augmenting the risk of an unintended escalation amid crises. On a grander scale, the rising curtain of a great power face-off unfurls. The tug-of-war for economic, technological, and geopolitical supremacy between reigning titan, the United States, and a determined challenger, China, eerily echoes the bitter European rivals that haunted the preludes of World War I and World War II. This brewing competition threatens to evolve from a cold rivalry into a hot confrontation. Adding to the dire portrait, the very pillars of international diplomacy tremble. The erosion of international consensus-building agencies like the UN, WTO, and more cripples humanity's ability to peacefully resolve disputes. Consequently, the likelihood of resorting to warfare inches upward. In the digital shadows, a new form of conflict shimmers: cyber warfare. Along with disruptive technologies like AI and biotechnology, they form the uncertain edges of a new battleground. This shift heralds unconventional threats that could swiftly spiral out of control, instigating crises. Finally, the specter of the nuclear age returns. The spread of volatile nuclear arsenals in North Korea, India, Pakistan, and potentially other nations introduces an explosive variable. With these apocalyptic weapons, the risk of nuclear conflict, either by calculated intent or heartbreaking miscalculation, looms ominously large.
Sometimes you need to look back to look forward. History is prologue. Has there ever been a time where history did not repeat itself, for better or for worse? Listen to Flashback to a Fabulous Future, where we will explore ancient history, modern history, and personal history to see how we can use history to motivate and inspire you to create a fabulous future for yourself. The fifth principle of cooperative management is all about education. We rely on education, particularly historical education, to empower you. Flashback to a Fabulous Future with Cheryl Johnson. Weekly episodes available on demand on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Welcome back to Flashback to a Fabulous Future. Hopefully you are learning the tools you need to build a fabulous future for yourself. Now let's get back to the show with Cheryl.
As the world stands today on the knife's edge, echoes of the past chill the winds of the present, whispering warnings of a possible World War III scenario. However, There are also many factors that reduce the likelihood of a global great power war today. Diplomacy, economic interdependence, deterrence, and multilateral institutions still play some important roles in maintaining international peace and stability. So while some risks do exist, I do not believe a global conflict on the scale of World Wars I and II is predictable in the next few years. There are lots of lessons to learn from history. So how do we move forward in a way that reflects the lessons learned and still provides that vision and determination? To do that, let's build cooperative communities. We can find ways to build self-governing communities that solve local problems and build freedom-loving citizens. One of the best ways to make a difference is to invest in your family. This means taking care of them, spending quality time with them, and being financially responsible by setting aside money for their future needs. By investing in your family, you are providing them with a secure foundation which will help them better navigate life's challenges. Furthermore, it sets an example for others around you and shows that supporting one another is important. Another way to support your family is to set boundaries and establish clear expectations from everyone involved. This helps create healthy relationships within the family unit as well as promote respect between members. Finally, stay positive and be willing to compromise when needed. This will ensure harmony amongst all those involved. All of these efforts can have long-lasting and positive impact on your family, society, and future generations. So make a difference by investing in your immediate family and your national family. In addition to investing in your family, there are other ways you can make a difference by giving back to your community. This can be done through volunteering, donating money or resources to causes that matter to you, and speaking up for those who cannot do so themselves. Making an effort to help those less fortunate than you is a powerful way of showing compassion and understanding toward others. It also helps build bridges between different social groups and encourages solidarity. Ultimately, this leads to more unified societies that have greater potential for developing solutions that benefit everyone involved. So reach out today and make a difference with your time and resources. You will be making a meaningful contribution that will leave lasting results in your local community. And most important, turn to your faith. Our country's beliefs and values stem from the Judeo-Christian faith, which emphasizes love, peace, justice, mercy, humility, and forgiveness. These are the foundations of most religions worldwide, and on which our laws have been built and continue to be upheld today. By returning to these essential principles and using them as guiding lights for society's future direction, we can ensure that our nation remains safe and prosperous for generations to come. Then, understand the history and motivations of our founding fathers by taking our Constitution Alive course. This will enable you to form an informed opinion of their ideas and help you form a vision for the future. The course is fun, interactive, and provides a comprehensive overview of the Constitution so that you don't have to rely on information from the media, which may be biased or inaccurate. By learning about the Founding Fathers' wisdom, you can decide whether or not you agree with their views and understand how changes are implemented in this country. Take this opportunity to gain knowledge of your rights as a United States citizen. Sign up now for Constitution Alive and get informed today. Lastly, decide which problems you want to tackle. Are there national issues you want to take on, or are there issues that are local to your community? Do you want to be a leader or just a contributor? What level of involvement do you want to have in solving the problems? To get started, our What Can I Do website offers valuable resources and information on a variety of topics related to issues facing our communities today. Here you will find ideas for projects, advice from experts in the field, and tips for getting organized and advocating for change. With this tool at your disposal, it's never been easier to make meaningful contributions toward cultivating positive societal change. So start exploring today and find out what you can do to make a difference. Every small action counts. Discover your inner co-opper. Are you ready to take action and make a positive impact in your community? Look no further, because the 5th Principle Learning Cooperative is here to empower you to become a problem-solving co-opper. Our mission is to bring order to chaos by building self-reliant communities through the development of servant leaders who work together to solve local problems. Together, we can share our skills and resources to create a sustainable financial ecosystem that supports humanitarian, economic, and infrastructure projects. To join our movement, ask yourself the following questions. Do you enjoy bringing people together to achieve self-reliance? Do you have a passion for making a difference in your community? Are you motivated by inspiring others to reach their full potential? Are you excited about learning new skills and knowledge? And do you want to play a role in restoring order to your local community by solving problems? If you answered yes to any one of these questions, we invite you to join our membership group and embark on a journey of personal and professional growth. Through our educational programs, you will gain a deeper understanding of our Constitution and history, develop resilience to overcome challenges, and learn about the cooperative business model as a means to revive the economy. You will also discover the principles of quiet leadership, customer service, and quality learning programs that are essential for success in business. Additionally, you will learn about the benefits of living locally and how to fund your efforts. Continue to join us in this podcast as we explore historical inflection points where freedom fighters overcame adversity and succeeded. Together, we will make our own history and come out victorious. Let's do this.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Flashback to a Fabulous Future. We hope today has helped you understand how the past influences the future and created the present. Until we talk again, have a beautiful week.